Why you so obsessed with me? Ooh. Yes. What's good, everybody? Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary, here with my beautiful, sexy wife. Say hi, boo.
Hi, everyone. This is Akdi, and today we are reviewing Obsessed.
Yes, and this is not a film documenting how I feel about Akdi. This is the 2009 Idris Elba, Beyoncé, Knowles Carter thriller, drama, rom-dram about a good black man trying to make it in corporate America, chased down by the white she-devil, played by Ali Larter as Lisa Sheridan. And we watched this film, I would say, about 5 days ago. And I saw this film like when it came out, right? And I remember it being kind of bad, you know what I mean? And also people really hating on this film, saying that this is one of the worst films they've ever seen. Beyoncé can't act. And I think this film sort of killed Beyoncé's career as an actress before like it really got off the ground. But after watching it again, I feel like this is not that bad. This is more of the worst Idris Elba movie than it is the worst thing Beyoncé ever made. You get what I'm saying? Even though, you know, I believe Idris Elba carries this thing on his back. But what did you think of the film?
I actually never saw it before because of all the negative comments. And the first time I watched Beyoncé was on Dreamgirls, and I thought she was okay.
Yeah, she's actually really good in Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
But that's because Dreamgirls is sort of like based on her life, and it's close to her what she does. She sings, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But for this one, I didn't want to watch it because of the negative comments. I was like, I'm in the beehive, so I don't want to be turned off from Beyoncé, so I'm just going to skip this one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when we watched it, it's sort of like a higher production Tubi movie. Mm-hmm. And it was okay. It was like a fun movie to watch and kind of make fun of.
Yeah, like you are looking at the screen and being like, this makes no sense. This is stupid. Plot hole here. Everything, right? Yeah. But you still enjoy it for the same way you enjoy like a ghetto Tubi movie. You're just like in it, you know, your brain is sort of turned off and you're like, oh shit, this happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of laugh at it.
You laugh at it, you laugh with it, and you sort of don't have to think too much about it. But I think one thing that I have to say is Beyoncé, from my recollection, was really bad in this film. But now after watching it again, she's only bad in certain parts. You know what I mean? And she's not always on the screen. Like the majority of the film is actually Idris Elba carrying it. So it's not like you constantly have to suffer through Beyoncé's like very country accent coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Idris Elba accepted this role because of how much, I don't know, like voice noise it would make with Beyoncé in it. Mm-hmm. And he was also, you know, he's also one of the biggest stars. So it was like a movie that's more about who's playing in it and less about the plot.
Yeah. And also, you know, Beyoncé had just come off of making Dreamgirls 3 years earlier. So it wasn't like Idris Elba just signed up for a check. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, this girl really had a knockout performance in this great film. You know, she's a mega star as well. And Idris Elba was somebody at this time, too. It's not like he was nobody. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it sort of made sense for their careers at this moment.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think it was Beyoncé's worst performance either. But she was just okay.
I totally agree that this is her worst performance.
You think so?
I agree with the critics, but it's not as bad as people make it, is what I'm trying to say, though.
Yeah. I feel like, at certain points it's a bit less good, worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, like, it doesn't really takes you out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, for all the talk about how the critics felt about the film, you know, then and now, the film did make money. So when it came out, you know, it cost about $20 million to make, but it made close to like $74 million at the box office, which is not a, you know, flop by any measure. So it was a financial success, but critically people still hate it. And I think it rests in a lot of people's minds as one of the worst things they've ever seen. But going back to what Akdi said about Tubi is now what everybody's tuning into. So I'm very confused. Like, y'all say y'all hate something, but y'all love this other thing that's trash as well. Like, people make no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But once again, it's also a movie you watch for the stars.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, let me see what this movie is about.
Yeah.
It's more like Beyoncé and Idris is in it. Let me watch it.
Yeah. Exactly like what you said. Like, there's no way, because there's a bunch of other movies with a similar plot line. You know what I mean? That have been done better. I forgot the other name. Fatal Attraction. Yeah, is a 1980s classic. Film about a woman obsessed with a man that people love, and that's a cult classic as well. So, let's just run through this story real quick so y'all can see it and you make up your own mind. And if you've seen this film, let us know what you think of it in the comments section. So basically, the film is stars Idris Elba as a man named, what was his name again? What was it?
Derek.
Yeah, Derek Loughrey, and he's British, I guess. Maybe the accents make no sense because Idris Elba didn't even try to do the American accent. He has this weird sort of hybrid combination, and that sort of threw me through a loop at the beginning.
Yeah, because they're kind of weird. Like his accent is in between British and American, and then Beyonce has like a deep Southern accent. It's like, where did they meet?
Yeah, their relationship makes as much sense as Akdi and I. So, but Derek is like a finance bro, and he just made a bunch of money. He moves into this big house of this beautiful bay. They have a baby whose name is Kyle. And Kyle is like the quietest, easiest going baby of all time. All he does is sleep and stare off with a 1,000-yard stare. And in the beginning, we see like, Derek and Beyonce's character, whose name is Sharon Charles, right? They're, they seem to be in love, and they get a bit freaky. They try to get freaky as soon as they get in the house when they see the mirror on the ceiling. So what did you think about the opening scene?
Yeah, it's like this picture of a happy family. They're getting richer and richer, so they move into the big house. They have a baby and everything. It just looks perfect.
Yeah, American dream.
Family, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. There's nothing else to say. Yeah. Like, the film doesn't get any deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? So one thing, though, I think that the film could have done, with this setup here was, this is obviously like a very black couple. Like, talk about, the idea of moving on up, escaping poverty or like, financial, emancipation in a white supremacist America. I think the film, misses the opportunities to talk about race a bit and class through this story, right? And we find out more about their relationship moving on in the film that I think could have made that more interesting, because he's very wealthy, but she, used to work as his assistant. And so obviously there's like some
power dynamic.
Yeah, power dynamic. I don't know. What do you think about my concept there?
I mean, I think in terms of traditional, like, wife and husband roles, this movie is very traditional in that sense. Like, there isn't really anything new about it. And it does play into those, like, a little bit of stereotypes, like she moved on up because of him in a way. Yeah. But we do see later on that she also has her own aspirations, which he doesn't fully support, I guess. So it's very traditional in that sense. And I do agree with you that, like, this movie is a bit colorblind. Yeah, very colorblind. Like, you could have put white actors, Hispanic actors, Arab actors, whatever, in this same role with the same script, and the story wouldn't have changed. Yeah. And that's why it feels a bit bland. It feels like unseasoned. You know what I mean? And for a movie with two very prominent black actors in it, you could have told a more complex, not overdone, but more nuanced sort of story about, black wealth, black success, and living in a white world. It could have been Get Out before Get Out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, and I feel like there could have been a lot of references to, like, older movies, like Jungle Fever and things like that. Like, not as in, like, obvious references, but I think, a movie like that made us talk about it more because it didn't ignore race. Yeah, especially when we talk about who is the third person in this conversation. So basically, Derek goes to work and he's driving through LA, he's rich, successful, makes it into the elevator, and he's left alone in the elevator with this blonde, blue-eyed snow bunny played by Ali Larter, and her name was Lisa Sheridan. And so she's like, "Oh, are you coming to work at, this rich finance bro company on the top floor?" He's like, I'm working here. And he's like, he's never seen her before. And he finds out that she's a temp worker, essentially like an intern and stuff like that. And moving forward in the film, he, notices that this woman is like, she is, attractive, conventionally attractive. Like, literally, like, Google hot girl and you get, Ali Larter in 2009. Google white girl and you get Ali Larter.
Google,
no offense, Ali Larter.
Yeah, no offense, Ali Larter. I'm sure you would say she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah, she's like a good-looking woman.
But like conventionally attractive by white beauty standards. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And she's coming on to him hard from the minute that she drops her pen and, seductively bends over. And he, actually like touches her fingers. From that moment on, she is on that man. She is obsessed with Idris Elba. And can you blame her? He's Idris Elba. Throughout the film, the man keeps making these like sexy ass faces to the audience. Does he not keep doing this the entire film? How do you think?
Especially in the beginning.
Yes. What did you think about Idris's look in this film?
He's a good looking man. Like I can't say anything bad about him.
Yeah.
I definitely, be attracted to him. I'm not saying as a worker.
You wouldn't be obsessed with him, though.
I wouldn't. No, I mean I wouldn't be obsessed with anyone who doesn't want me back. So that just doesn't make sense.
I don't know if you put in here in the slides the gay guy that also works in the office.
Yeah.
Okay, but essentially, Lisa is like researching everything she can about Derek and like looking up his profile and stuff like that, even when he leaves the office. Yeah. Any comments about when we're introduced to Lisa and the office and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a very traditional look she has. So I can see exactly where the story was going to go a little bit. But also, just like the casual sexism in the office made me sympathize with her a tiny bit, at least at this point in
What do you
movie.
mean the casual sexism? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's like the guys are meeting and they're like, whose legs are those? And I'm like, how do you even like separate people by their legs? I don't know. That's kind of impossible for me. Like I wouldn't be able to look at a person's legs and be like, oh, this is a new person.
I never saw the attraction to legs.
They're like automatically sexualizing her and seeing her like, some kind of prize or something to get. So that made me sympathize with her a little bit, but yeah, that's all.
I see. I think, this film, once again, is very copy and paste. It feels like the script could have been blown off from a desk from like 1945, because like how the guys are basically all day just drinking scotch, talking about the hot girls in the office, planning drunken Christmas parties, and then, 30 minutes we have a meeting with, the bank, and we're going to get $30 million transaction land in our account.
Yeah, exactly. Encouraging each other to cheat.
Encouraging each other to cheat on their wives. Hey, she won't tell. She won't know if I won't tell. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, it's very traditionally, like, male-female roles in this movie.
Yeah, but the biggest plot hole in the film is explaining Lisa's obsession. There's like no reason for her to be this obsessed with this man. Because yes, he is Idris Elba. He's, fine as hell. But why is she just automatically from the first interaction Googling his name, chasing him down, trying to flirt and show titty and ass and legs all over the office to him? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is a emptiness that is in this scene.
Yeah.
Because there are other men around her that are also rich, also successful, and are actually interested in her more than Derek is.
Yeah.
But she never really goes for them. She just automatically focuses on Derek.
Now, what could have made the film give the villain a better motive? I could have thought of, essentially, straight up gold digger, like she's the ultimate gold digger and trying to get this rich, successful, powerful man by any means necessary. You know what I mean? Or maybe taking it too conspiratorial. She's sent by the government to bring down a good black man. You know what I mean?
She's like FBI
agent. Yeah. Agent Lisa, are you on the case? I'm on it.
Wow, she's a Russian spy.
I know. We send our white she-devil to bring down Negro. Something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Or it could have been something like related to her dating history or something.
Yeah.
That would have made it more interesting.
Or just even more simply, we find out later, like she escaped from a mental institution, or she has a history of like, obsessive, like a psychological disorder, like a psychiatrist could have come and like diagnosed her or came back and said, oh, that girl, she was a patient of mine. And she was, she killed her whole family or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like just color in the character other than just make her obsessed from the jump. But shall we continue?
Yeah.
All right. So at this point in the scene, I think Derek came home and said, "Oh, this new girl is working as my assistant," and Sharon definitely does not like that because Sharon already knew that Derek had been messing around with girls the entire time that she was his assistant. You know what I mean? And also, how you get them is how they leave. So Sharon could have been thinking like, okay, he hooked up with me when I was his assistant. He might do the same. And I also saw him like play girls and lie to them, cheat on them, and all sorts of stuff. And so then when he tells her, I got this new assistant, she says, oh, you better fire her tomorrow, ASAP. Mm-hmm. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that point of view, but it's also like kind of joked about. Mm. It's not really serious. They're not fighting about it. So you can see that they actually trust each other. So at this point, like, I feel like they're very solid still. Really?
I kind of disagree. I feel like, at this stage, they're, he really is like scared of his wife. You know what I mean? I get the feeling like he, really does take heed to that when he gives the suggestion. When she gives the suggestion.
I don't know. I feel like that's general with men, that you get very offended when you're accused of something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like, he's considering that, but he, it's going to be out of his control later as we see, but he definitely, he loves Sharon. I definitely get the feeling, and good job with the chemistry between Idris Elba and Beyonce, that they have like a real romantic and attractiveness between each other. Like the energy is there, you feel me? But when she's like, is telling him get rid of, this girl, he's like, okay, I got you. All right. I can't lose Beyonce.
Yeah, I felt like maybe he was more nervous about trying to balance things because I do feel like he liked the attention maybe.
Yeah.
Not in the way that he was flirting with her back. Mm-hmm. He wasn't, but he was just like, liking that he was getting attention, which is normal. Everybody does that.
I got you.
So maybe he was just trying to figure out how to balance, since also this is a temporary situation for him right now because she's just a temp.
Yeah. I wonder, though, if Jay-Z watches this movie with the same sort of jealousy Sharon had for Lisa in The Office. And he's like, Idris Elba, he can't smell that good, can he? He's not that handsome. I got to be more handsome, B.
Well, he can't say anything now. We know what he did.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, he really got caught with Becky with the good hair.
Yep.
Anyway, so tell us what happens here.
Yeah, so basically next day at the office, she's still a temp there, and she comes into Derek's office, and she's taking all these notes. She's very smart, very fast, and Derek is kind of impressed. Derek is saying, like, oh, are you always this good at being a secretary? And she's also, again, making passes at him.
Mm-hmm. Going back to chemistry, I really also liked, that Ali Larter was able to go toe-to-toe with Idris Elba and hold the scene as well. So, once again, I think this film has a very shitty plot and script, but the actors bring it to life because every time they're back and forth on screen, whether it's like kind of flirty in the office or in the beginning where they're cordial and friendly and professional, like they're really good together. Everybody that Idris Elba is on screen with, I don't know if he's the type of actor that can elevate you or if, he's just that good or the other actresses are just that good. I feel like it's the first one, though, because he elevated Beyonce in some of their scenes. And Ali Larter is like, acting just as good as him. But what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like maybe the British accent that just like automatically makes people love you. Especially when they look like Idris Elba. So, yeah, they were probably enjoying being in the same scene with him. Yeah. And that will automatically like make you better at your job. I guess. Like just that motivation of being with Idris Elba.
You hear that Shakespearean like accent, and next thing you know, you're a thespian. You're not an actress. You know what I mean? So yeah, but good job with Ali Larter with her acting scenes because I really like this scene and all of the banter in between them as well. But moving forward in the story. She is like stalking him in the office and also listening in on his calls as well. Yeah. When he's on the phone with Sharon and, just talking about his day. And once again, during his day, he's mostly just like on the phone with his wife, Like Sharon calls him 3 or 4 times, or he's playing golf in his office, or just knocking back shots of brandy that he keeps in the desk. And it made me think I should have been a finance bro. I should have been a finance bro.
Like he talks on the phone for 15 minutes with a client and gets a deal, and that's it for the day.
That's it for the day.
That's it for the month. Like, he's always like scoring a deal.
Dog.
Like, yeah.
Dog. Choices I could have made in life, but it's not too late. It's not too late. We can still get in there. We're still getting there. But yeah. Yeah. So once again, Sharon is telling, Derek, hey, get rid of that female assistant. None of that. Nah. Especially if she looks like, Becky with the good hair. So moving forward, they finally meet. I believe this is the scene when Sharon finally meets Lisa. And yeah, Sharon is definitely like, oh no, she gotta go. She's too nice. She's too pretty. She's white. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
So what did you think of that scene?
And she like compliments Derek constantly while they're having a conversation.
Yeah.
But she's also giving like these fake compliments like, oh, you're just a perfect family.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be a homewrecker.
Yeah. How would you feel if you came to my office and my assistant looked like that?
Oh.
Be real. Keep it real. First thing that comes to your mind. Are you going to tell me to fire her?
I'm not going to tell you to fire her because I'm not going to take someone's job just like that.
Oh, you're a girl's girl.
But like, I have to trust you. It's not about the girl. At first, at least, if the girl's not something like Lisa. But my first person to like warn and trust would be you. Mm-hmm. And then it depends on how you move.
I would be offended that you would ever assume that I would lay up with a white she-devil.
I don't. Like, what do you mean? Well, you got me there.
That was a good one. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Don't be upset.
Anyway, I wouldn't automatically assume like, oh, you would want to sleep with her or anything, but it would depend on your actions. Okay.
And how would you react if my assistant was a carbon copy of Beyonce? Same thing.
Same thing. Like, okay. What can I do? I'm not going to take away this girl's job.
Okay. All right. I get it.
But you have to tell me everything, though.
All right.
Like, that would be the deal.
Well, if I'm a finance bro, you can call 7 times a day. I'm not doing nothing. I've only been on the computer 15 minutes and the day is done. So you can message me anytime. I'm just playing golf. Wow. Shit. Oh yeah, you want to meet up at lunch at 2?
Wait. How would you feel if I had if I had Idris Elba
as your assistant? I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. Yo, slavery back. That's crazy.
What?
What? How do you have a male assistant, bro? What the hell?
What's wrong with that?
I can't imagine an Idris Elba as your assistant.
Well, not actually Idris Elba, but like.
Okay.
Well,
you know what? I'd be happy. I'd be like, yo, look at Akdi, bringing black jobs. You know what I mean? Employing black men.
Yeah, it's an assistant at a high, high prestige company.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Damn.
No, that's crazy. No, I said slavery back because we live in a, patriarchal world where men usually don't work for like women like that. You get what I'm saying?
Why not?
No, I'm saying, of course, why not? We want to imagine and create that type of world. And there are men that do work for women. In fact, me, for example, I work, most of my bosses are women, except one, and for the 3 jobs I work to live and survive. But, in general, for like high-powered, rich jobs.
I get it. Would you be jealous, though? That was
would I be jealous? No. No. I'm not a jealous person. I don't believe, I feel like disrespected. And I feel like jealousy is disrespectful because you should trust that person that you're with.
Depends on the person.
That's the point I'm trying to say. Anyway, moving forward, right? So tell us what happens here.
Yeah. So basically there's this assistant also. This is actually Derek's actual assistant. Mm-hmm. His name is Patrick. Mm-hmm. And Lisa gets like a banter with him, and she's getting all the gossip from him. Mm-hmm. And yeah, here like at the scene, he's like, "Oh, if you think you can get all the gossip with me from a couple of cosmos, you will." Mm-hmm. And I really hated this character.
You didn't like him?
I just hated how it was portrayed. I feel like this was more stereotypical gay than the gays in Blackula.
Wow. Okay. I feel like he was a normal guy. He's not a queen, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't like over the top. He's not in the office with like, makeup on and stuff like that. He's just kind of a gay friend in the office.
They made him like a gossip, coven basically, and I don't know. I just didn't like the way like he was portrayed, because not every gay person is like unethical. I don't know.
He's not unethical, but he did say he's been working in the office for like 9 years. So like if you worked in a place for 9 years, like you're gonna know some gossip, you're gonna know some tea, you've seen some things. So
yeah, and you would just share them with the first random white girl that walked in. Like,
if we're at work, come on, that's what people do at work. Like, oh, don't you know, like so and so were sleeping together, he got fired, but then he got the job back again, stuff like that. I think that's what people do at work.
Okay.
So stuff like that happens. I wasn't offended by his character, and I thought it helped serve the plot. You know what I mean? Like his character actually was important. It wasn't just there just to be there, because he helps Lisa find out more about Derek and stuff like that. So moving forward, there's one day when Derek walks into the work cafeteria and he sees Lisa crying, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "My boyfriend broke up with me." And he says like, "Oh, he's wrong. A guy would be lucky to have you. If I were single, yeah." That's sort of like what he says. I don't even think he finished the sentence.
Yeah, he did not.
He was like, "If I were single," and she's like, "Really? If you were single?" And so she takes that as a compliment. Then she lights up and starts smiling. And then when, she leaves the room, another guy walks in and he's like, "That's the girl who has her eyes on you. So watch out. Be careful now." And he's like the other guy in the office, sort of like always encouraging, Idris to cheat. And I think he cheats on his wife too and stuff like that. So
yeah.
What'd you think of those scenes?
I mean, that was extremely cliche. Like girl crying, guy feeling bad for him, and then girl using that like for attention. Do I like it? No. I don't like that stereotype, but I think you have a theory about this guy.
My theory, because this guy acts weird throughout the film. And what's his name?
His name is...
I think his name was Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, played by Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell plays this character who, he comes across like, "Hey, Idris, we're boys," right? But he's overly too friendly sometimes. And this comment right here comes across as a bit threatening. I think this one has got her crosshairs on you. And I know that's sometimes how guys talk, like, "Gotcha, Ben," or, you know what I mean? Finger pointing guns. That's very American. But I have a theory. Ben set up Lisa to go and trap Derek to get him out of his job, because Derek was so good at his job and Ben wanted his position. That's my theory for this film. Now, the film doesn't, give any more hints other than that, than a few comments, but that's the only way I can sort of like justify Lisa's actions and also some of the weird things this guy says. But what do you think of that theory?
I definitely think that might be true, because also at the beginning of the movie, there's this scene where they're in the meeting and the boss gives Derek the big case with Germans or something, and Ben says, and he appoints Ben as his helper, basically. And Ben says like, "Oh, I'm happy to serve you, sir," or something like sarcastically.
Yes, massa.
Sarcastically, he says that.
Yeah.
So I definitely think you're onto something. Like, I definitely do believe this theory might be true.
If they made that part of the plot, do you think that would make this a better film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at the end, it was revealed, like Ben, confronts Derek and like, "Oh, you don't deserve that case. I do. You big black son of a bitch."
Like, it could have even been like at the end. This is gonna be spoilers, but he goes to Lisa's funeral. Ooh. And we just see that.
Oh, he's just
then it's a sequel. He sends another woman.
He says he's the white she-devil master. He's
yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. And once again, I feel like the film, could have been more interesting by, let's say the film played it vanilla the entire time, like Akdi was saying, like there's no subtext in the plot, it's just surface level. You could have put any race of actors in there. But at the end, the twist is Ben and a lot of the other white people in the office were conspiring against Derek to get him out of there. And this was their way, the classic way. white woman assaulted by a black man or something like that. I feel like that could have been a major twist that could have elevated this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it could have been him and maybe the gay guy, Patrick, together or something, or maybe he's just using Patrick.
Yeah. But I think, one thing about this film, this film came out in 2009, and what major event happened in 2008?
Me Too? What?
First black president.
Oh.
So we're living in the very wake of the post-racial America. Everybody feels like everything is solved. So I think that's a part of the subtext of this film, is that you could have, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman, chasing down Idris Elba, and nobody's supposed to mention the fact that there are, there's the racial difference in there. Because, we solved it, guys. We got Obama in there. It's all good, right? You know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you think about that?
It just reminds me of a comment I think someone on YouTube I watched made. I don't remember who. But they basically said when Obama was elected, there was this time in America where it seemed like things were going good. And there were some like resolutions within the society. It didn't last, and it wasn't for everyone. But yeah, it's just what it reminds me of. And this is a part of it, I think. Yeah,
this is definitely a part of the post-2008, we're good, guys, right? We're good.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That was a weird era. Very weird era. Anyway, this is the part, I think, when Sharon is texting with Derek, and she made like a little mixtape CD for him, and Derek's taste in music is horrible. God, it was so bad. At least they could have made him like I don't know, British garage jungle music or something like that.
Like, he likes Crudo.
What the hell is Crudo? I've never even heard of that.
I don't know, but the Automator is king.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The way to a man's heart is to like his horrible taste in music. That's the way. Ladies, learn that. All right. Anyway, tell us what happens in this scene. I forgot. Yeah,
so basically there's a Christmas party at the office and no spouses are allowed. So Derek is going to the party, and in the beginning, he's about to leave home, and Sharon says, like, you know what happened last year, so don't forget to eat anything. And he says he's going to pick up some burgers. He goes to this bar and he orders burgers. And then Lisa shows up. They eat burgers together. There's like a banter, flirtation-ish vibes going on by Lisa, but not so much from Derek.
Yeah. But it feels like, they're just hanging out, chilling. It felt very professional, but like she's one of the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's trying to, I think, make her feel comfortable as a colleague in a way. And then they go to the office party together, and it's a
Christmas party too. Yeah.
Christmas party. They are drinking, and Lisa is sort of pushing Derek to take shots and stuff like that.
And also dancing provocatively on him.
Yeah, like first Derek is dancing with this old lady in the office, Marge.
Yeah.
And then like she comes in, just like kicks her out of the dance floor.
Yeah, that's crazy though, because Marge was throwing it back.
Wow. Anyway, and then when they're dancing, Lisa's dancing provocatively. They end up under the mistletoe, and she's like, "You want to put one on the cheek?" Yeah,
exactly. If you don't kiss me, people will think something's up. It was like, okay, bitch, this reverse psychology, this white technology, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work.
Yeah, and he like dodges it. He says, I don't remember what he said, but
he's like, no, I'm good, and I gotta go to my wife. He's always going to his wife, and that's one of the things you kind of like about Derek, is that how faithful he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, every, 1 of 10 sentences is that I'm married.
I'm married. Hey, if you don't remember, I'm married. Get yourself a face.
Yeah, exactly. Because every guy in the office is, constantly talking about a woman other than their wives.
Yeah. Big cheaters.
Yeah.
But then what happens is probably one of the most uncomfortable scenes, and I didn't realize how uncomfortable this scene was when I watched this film back in 2009, but watching it in my woke 2025 eyes, I'm like, oh, this scene was actually really fucking deep. So, I think Derek got really drunk and he goes into the bathroom to take a piss, and when he walks in there, Lisa goes in there too and sort of pushes him into the stall and really starts there's no other word for it than try to rape him, because he's saying no, and she's trying to pull down his pants, unzip his zipper, and then at the same time, I think Derek's boss walks into the bathroom as well, and he's like, "Hey, who's that in there?" Because he sees 4 feet under the bathroom stall, and this scene was like wild, uncomfortable. This like Idris Elba got emasculated and raped by Ali Larter on screen. You get me? That was really kind of uncomfortable to watch. You know what I mean? And I think it was uncomfortable to watch because it was like the psychological terror of it. The film doesn't say it, but being a black man in the office, corporate America, you've probably fought against more stereotypes, than I could even think of. And this could be your downfall. You know what I mean? Like women, especially a white woman, in this case could easily say, he attacked me, he raped me, he tried to take me, something like that. And you have a whole host of problems, in racist, white supremacist America. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that scene really, really was deep. But the film didn't take it all those places, but I was in the mind of Derek. You get what I'm saying? But what did you think of that scene?
Yeah, this definitely was, I think, one of the most intense scenes in the movie. I agree with you. Don't be mad at me for being a feminist, but I couldn't help but think, like, this is such a twisted dynamic because it's usually... at least at this time, too, a lot of the men who are in power abused women who are under them like this. And I couldn't help but think, like, it's such a reversed, Lisa is like the powerful man and Derek is basically like their assistant. Obviously, like, I'm not trying to undermine what Derek is going through here because it's also a different dynamic. Like, he's in a higher position, but he's also a black man in corporate America, and he could be charged with a lot of things, just, depending on what she tells other people. And he's in such a compromised position because there's someone outside, and it's a guy, and if he comes out and the guy sees them, they're going to assume they were having sex. They're not going to believe Derek, even if he says, I wasn't. Just off the fact he's a man, because we don't think about men being assaulted, especially by, conventionally attractive women. Yeah, but low-key, like, I was just also thinking a lot of women lived through this. Absolutely. A lot of women lived through this, but also we have to remember in America, a lot of men have lived through this. Black men and white women have had sexual relations. Oh, daddy finds out about the white girl. Rape, rape, rape. Whole black city destroyed. Black Wall Street, Tulsa, fucking Rosewood. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like, definitely. So I understand what you're saying, like, as a woman and what you've been through, but as a black man, like, there's a type of sexism that we live under, in relation to, our relations with other people, especially white women. You get what I'm saying? So what the film really missed, and I think the film missed it because it was written by a white man named David Lochry, who actually died last year, so rest in peace to him. You know what I mean? The film misses the opportunity to really examine, Derek's psychology after this, which was a very traumatic event, but they just sort of play it off like, oh, that's crazy. Like, he turned down this beautiful girl that tried to have sex with him. Like, in '09, we were just thinking, oh, that's wild, bruh. That's a crazy story. But now it's like, oh, I feel you, man. You know what I mean? I mean, I think even if the movie doesn't mention it, you can't, as the audience, if you're aware of those dynamics, you can't help but think about it. Yeah. And, that's basically what we thought, I think. Yeah. But one of the best scenes in this film, and once again, a very intense acting done by both actors here. So excellent job. Oh, and maybe one more thing where there was like a slight mention of race, maybe a little bit. After this party, he decides to drive his car to home, which was stupid, right? Yeah. And then he hears police sirens and gets anxious. Yeah, because he's drunk as hell. Yeah, he's drunk. But I don't know. I was also thinking maybe also he's black, because police tend to stop black people more. And he's driving a nice-ass car, too. Yeah. And you know how that goes. This your car, boy? And nothing happens. Like, the police passes by. Yeah, that was intense. Yeah. That scene also. So moving forward in the film, there's a scene. I can't believe you didn't show the scene when she opened it. We're not going to get demonetized for that. We showed titties in the last one, so it didn't matter. But anyway, so Derek, he's kind of nervous going to work the next day because he wants to tell his bosses what happened and that, she needs to go. And I don't want to have anything to do with Lisa. I don't need to see her around anymore. But they tell her, Lisa actually
She left. Yeah, the temp agency called her back. So what's the problem? And he's like,
That's not yet, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, she's not there. No, she is there at work.
She is there, and he kind of avoids the situation. Like, now Derek is like, Lisa comes to his office, but Derek is like very cold, very distant.
But she's acting like everything's normal. Like, hey, you want some coffee?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, she tried to rape me. Like, like literally, like, I was watching that scene and I was like, that's what women are talking about. Like, I have to live with my rapist or work with my rapist. Yeah. Like, rape culture is all around us. Like, that guy that groped you last night is telling you the next day, so those reports finished? Like, what? Like, that's so weird.
It is.
And that was, I've never had that experience with a film before, but that's the great thing about film. It can put you in another person's, subjectivity. Mm. So, shout out to the film for that.
Definitely. And basically when he's trying to go home, Lisa comes in and just enters his car and like opens up her trench coat, and she's wearing lingerie underneath.
And she looks like a board of wood.
Yes.
She's just flat as hell. I'm sorry.
Like a worm.
I'm sorry. And I'm so mad there's not one scene in this film when Beyonce opens that thing. I'm like, like, you trying to take my man?
Wanted to see that.
My body's too bootylicious for you, baby. I'm sorry.
But and she's basically acting like Derek also wants her too. Like, she's like, oh, don't you remember last night? And all kinds of things.
He's like, bitch, last night what?
And he's like basically constantly telling her to get out. And at the end, I think he gets like, I'm not going to risk my, relationship for this. I'm not going to risk my job for this. Get out of my car. Yeah. And she gets also mad. She screams when he leaves. Yeah, very intense scene too, because like he, really starts to yell at her. And once again, like, I think there was a little bit of jump scare how Idris Elba yelled, like, get out. It was was good. That was good. Once again, great acting. But moving forward, so Derek is coming home, and he's because he's a good, hardworking Christian man. He's about to tell his beautiful wife Beyonce what happened. Sharon. It's hard to call her Sharon. Like, I can't look at Beyonce and say, "Hey, Sharon." No, that's crazy. She's not a Sharon.
She's not a Sharon. But he's about to tell her like, "Oh, this girl is trying to come on to me, and I'm telling her no, and I will get her fired." But she's very sad because her sister just called and said that her man of like 10 years said that he was having an affair with another woman, and he's like, oh shit, I can't say nothing now. The worst luck ever, worst timing. What did you think of that scene?
I don't know. I think I would still tell my spouse if anything like that happened at work.
This is like a great time to be like, well, you might want to sit down.
Because then I know I'm going to get blamed for it later. Like, I don't want to keep anything secret. I just rather have everything out in the open. Okay. And deal with it together also. Like, I would ask you, what should I do?
So do you blame Derek for this?
I don't blame him because I understand where he's coming from. Like, he doesn't want to upset his wife anymore. And he's maybe also thinking, okay, like, how far can Lisa go? Yeah. So I think he still doesn't know her extent. Yeah. And he's also like, I'll take care of this myself. Yeah. I'll find a way. So moving forward, he goes to his friend, Ben, and Ben is like, I can't believe this story you're telling me. You're telling me that this girl pushed up on you. You didn't do anything. And he's like, yeah, man, I do not want to cheat on Sharon. I need this girl gone. She's ruining my life. So he's like, what are you going to do? Go to HR? Ha, ha, ha. He's like, I will. I think I will. And he goes to his boss, and his boss says, you don't have to worry about Lisa because she quit. Yeah, the temp agency, took her out. So what type of problem do you have? And he's like, oh, nothing really. So what did you think of those scenes? Yeah, I think if I was in his situation, I would do the same. Like, if she already quit, I would think like, okay, I guess I don't need to say anything now.
Yeah, maybe she's embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll ruin all of her career, which is like too good of a thinking. Like, you don't need to be kind to this type of person because then they will never learn their lesson. Yeah, yeah. I was, thinking, this scene was very intense because, I'm trying to imagine myself, a black man in corporate America going into the office and, thinking nobody's going to believe this story. Like, this is
this is less believable than if I said I saw aliens last night. You know what I mean? Like, because that's how a lot of people think about, a beautiful woman comes onto you and you turned her down, or she tried to rape you, you know what I mean? Then on top of that, being a black man in this case, it's just way too much. Like, I was like, like, now I'm an adult watching this and not 19, and I'm like, yeah, this is real shit.
It's definitely very, like, I think, anxious, an anxious situation to do that.
Yeah.
With all the dynamics that are happening in his world.
Yeah. I think, Will Packer produced this film. And Will Packer is like a black man who has made like a lot of, black films and stuff like that. And he's very vocal about putting, black stories out there and stuff like that. And I find it interesting that he decided to make this film sort of like very vanilla. I know he's just the producer. He's not the writer on this or anything. But I just really wonder why they wanted to go with this very vanilla telling of this kind of, very scandalous story. You know what I mean?
Maybe it is the Obama effect.
It is the Obama effect. But anyway, speaking of Obama, in his perfect family, Derek and Kyle and Sharon are having the perfect Christmas ever. Yeah. And Kyle has a big ass head, man. That baby got a big head, man. Kyle is Kyling. Just like
the calmest baby ever.
The calmest baby ever. I wonder what the Kyle is doing now. I wonder who played Kyle. Anyway, we'll find that out. Any comments on the Christmas part of this movie? Do you consider this a Christmas movie?
No.
No?
Why is
Google
showing Kyle as a white boy?
That's crazy. There's actually on Wikipedia 2 babies that played Kyle, Nicholas and Nathan Myers. They might be twins, which is strange. Moving forward, though, there's this scene, when they come back from a New Year's Eve party, and Derek checks his computer, and Lisa sends him a spam email of her, looking like a reoccurring cast member on Friends that pops up on the screen. Boop, 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 boop. And he's able to close all the pop-ups before his wife Sharon checks the screen. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I wish she was at least sent a nude or something.
Yeah.
What the hell
like the
this?
Pussy just popped open, like lips gaping. Just
well, not that.
That would be great.
Like, this is just like a Glee cast member. Like,
yeah.
What is this? It's not even... I don't think it's sexy.
Yeah, but he knew he would get in trouble because Sharon would see, oh, that's your assistant. That's the only reason. Because in any other case, you could say, oh, that's porn, baby. Sorry. Work mixed with pleasure. How it goes.
You really know the tactics.
I'm just saying. But this woman is like too obvious in the face, to hide and play off.
Yeah. And he was really anxious. He was like trying to close all the 100 windows that opened. Yeah, that was early or late 2000s, early internet technology. So, yeah. Also a very creepy scene. Akdi, you're a genius for making this split screen. This is a pretty funny scene, man. So he is like texting this woman at work because she's like sending emails like, I miss you, Derek. When will we be together, Derek? And he types back, leave me alone. And then she just sends back a smiley emoji that winks back, which was creepy as hell. That was so creepy. And I didn't even know, like, computers could do that.
It was like a delayed wink, too. It was like...
Yeah, it's like the first GIF ever.
Yeah, she sent the first GIF ever, and it was terrifying. So that was pretty funny, man. And Idris Elba's face throughout this film, I wonder if like he took this thing kind of seriously or it's just like a, exercise or an excuse to go to LA for like 3 months.
I think he was having fun with it.
You think he was having fun with it?
He got 2 beautiful women along his side.
Yeah, fighting over him.
Yeah. In the corporate setting.
Yeah, I guess
everything is air conditioned.
Yeah.
You don't have to be out in the desert fighting lions.
Yeah, I know. You just memorize 10 lines a day and then do this face.
Yeah. I think he was enjoying it.
Yeah, he had a good time. Anyway, what happens in this scene?
Yeah, so the guys from work go to this business retreat type of thing, business meeting.
Their business meetings, once again, are just day-long benders.
Yeah.
Where they just get fucked up.
Yeah. Like, they go to a detox hotel, but they just drink alcohol.
Exactly.
And they're talking, and again, they're talking about women and how they want to go to the strip club and things like that. And then someone sends a drink to Derek. And the lady, the waitress says, it's from the lady at the bar. And he looks and sees a blonde hair. And he's immediately freaked out.
When I was watching this, I screamed. I said, ah! Literally, I've never been more scared of a white woman.
Yeah. And he tells the guys, like, I have to call Sharon. She's waiting for me. And Derek phones Sharon. And as they're talking, he goes away to the bar stools. And we see, of course, Lisa showing up saying, like, I missed you. You said, you know, you couldn't risk your job. So I quit my job so I can be with you.
Yeah, which is crazy, like how she reinterprets things. He said, I'm not going to risk my job. So get out of my car and leave me alone. So then she says in her mind, oh, I'll quit my job so he doesn't risk his job.
Yeah, there's truly a mental health situation going on
Which
here.
is insane, bro.
Yeah, and Derek, like, closes the phone with Sharon and tells her to, like, go away. I don't want to be with you. There is no us. Please stop being delusional. And, yeah, as she's talking to him, she slips, like, a date rape drug, I think.
Wow, yeah, this movie could not get more traumatizing or, like,
and
scary.
In his drink. And, yeah, he takes it and he drinks it.
Yeah, and he gets really drunk and wasted, and he's like, you know, flipping through the hall. His friend Ben, once again, highlighting my theory that Ben was involved. Ben is like walking him down the hall, and how could you not tell your friend is super drunk? Like, if he's your best friend, y'all have had beers together plenty of times, but he had like 3 beers tonight, and now you see him like wobbly. Like, I would be like suspicious that something happened.
I mean, Derek tells Ben that he's drunk, but not like emphasizing it.
But as a friend, though, you would know how your friend is when drunk. Like, if you got drunk and then you started wobbling around like crazy, I'd be like, that's not acting drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like Ben knew what was happening. He's like, it's finally happening. It's going down. You know what I mean? So Lisa, because she looks more like a Sharon. I'm sorry. Lisa creeps up into the bed where Derek is and starts kissing on him. And I think she actually ends up, you know, taking that dick. She ends up, you know, raping him, man.
Yeah, we don't know how far she went, but it was looking bad.
I can assume that she did it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I would assume just it wouldn't get hard, but I'm not going to dive in too deep.
Who knows?
But there's also, like, the idea of, like, who let her in? Like, was she waiting by the corner, or did Ben let her in? I don't know. Yeah,
maybe Ben let her in, or maybe she told the front desk, "Oh, I'm his wife. I forgot the key."
Oh, maybe
she could have done that as well. But yeah, Ben is not ruled out. Ben is very suspicious.
Yeah.
But
and he wakes up and he doesn't, I guess, really remember a lot. But he goes to the meeting. He's late to the meeting, and they kind of roast him for it. And then some guy comes from the front desk and says, "Sir, your wife is here, and she wants to talk to you." And obviously Derek, assuming it's Sharon, he comes out and sees it's Lisa. And Lisa is like, "Oh, I wanted to go to brunch. What do you think?" And yeah, she's very creepy. Again, kind of denying everything that Derek is saying to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, like, you know, I'm your wife," or something. Like,
we can be together finally. And Derek is telling her, like, "Listen, I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to come in there with you to my boss and everybody and tell them you're the one who's been bothering me and chasing me around." And then I think then she says a threat to him. I forgot if it was like, "I'm going to tell them you assaulted me or took me," or something like that. Yeah. What did she say?
Yeah, something like that. And then she said, like, who are they going to believe? Like, what do you think?
Now that's probably also the only other like hint of, like, you know, the power of white womanhood over black male autonomy in this film. You get what I'm saying? Like, who are they going to believe? And that's just strikes deep. You know what I mean?
I mean, she's very toxic. Like, at one point, he gets really mad and almost wants to hit her. Yeah. And she's like, "Hit me. You can do whatever you want to me."
Oh, that's wild.
And yeah, like, she's insane. And she's also like, "You don't remember last night?" And he's like, "Then nothing happened last night." So I don't know, like, if he actually remembers it or not.
Yeah. These scenes were still very good. Just going to the acting as well. The story in this sucks. This is one of the best acted films with a horrible script. Because I really like this confrontation scene, like how it just grabs her and you could tell he's like really angry and like, you know, they're arguing in this public space, but they're also trying to keep it down too in the tone. So the level in voices and, you know, the intensity is there. I really like that.
And I think Ali Larter does a good job from like that transition between innocent white girl, delusional, to like the evil obsessed girl. Like, it's because it happens within seconds, and you can see how her face is changing from this face to like the evil face.
Yeah. It really, there is a switch she hits, and there's also a switch that Idris has to go from, charming, collected man to a man who's almost on the edge, right at the verge of like pure anger. So there's a lot of acting that's really done well, I would say, in these scenes. But moving forward, he goes into his room later that day after being at the meetings and yelling at her, and he finds Lisa in bed, and he tries to drag her out, but she's overdosed on some sort of prescription pills, and she's unconscious. So and
she's naked.
And she's naked. And so, oh God, this is all bad. So he walks down the hall with the EMTs dragging her out, and Ben and his boss are looking in like, what happened? And he's like, I'll tell you later. And I was like, oh man, that was so, I feel like that could have been done more dramatically. You know what I mean? Like everybody looks and they just like try to put two and two together. Yeah. And, and that could have been done more in a way that makes you feel like it's over for Derek. But the way he just put up his hand and said, I'll tell you later, it felt like kind of unreal. That people would react that way to possibly a dead person being in your bed.
I mean, yeah, I do believe there wasn't much reaction from the office in general, even when he went back to work. Like there was some, but not like a mass, answer to what was happening or mass reaction to what was happening. Yeah. And when we saw the scene, I was like, oh, he's done. Yeah. Like there's no way that nobody's going to assume like they are not sleeping together. Yeah. Because like, if we saw it, we would be like, they're sleeping together.
Exactly. And I'd be like, that nigga dead. he going under the jail. And so, he, I forgot if this is the part where she already went to the hospital.
Yeah. I think maybe the slide.
So at the hospital, there's a detective who shows up. No, it's not here. Anyway, at the hospital, there's a detective who shows up, and also Sharon shows up at the same time. The detective is trying to interview Derek about what happened, and also at the same time, Sharon is there listening, and she's like, "There's a woman in your bed. What happened?" And she's really upset, and she storms out of the hospital, and Derek like chases after her. And then when they make it home, she doesn't believe him at all about the story, and she ends up kicking him out of the house. So what'd you think of those scenes?
Yeah, I think when like the detectives got involved, and the detective was also like a white lady, I was really scared for Derek because I was like, oh, she's definitely gonna side with Lisa. Yeah. I was like, this is over for him, and obviously Sharon is not gonna believe him because he didn't tell Sharon. This is the only time I was mad. Like, if only you didn't tell anyone at the office or anything, but the only person you could have told was Sharon. Yeah. And the only person who would have understood you is Sharon.
Yeah. So, I really liked the little triangle situation because I really am sympathizing and putting myself in the shoes of Derek in this film. And that's such a crazy situation to be in. Like, you have a detective on one hand and your wife on the other hand and a dead white girl that was in your bed in another room. Like, to me, I'm just imagining what I would do in that situation. And I would just be like, run. I would just get up and just start running away because there's nothing I could do. This is like the worst situation you could ever be in.
Yeah, I like that scene too. Like, the detective was asking a question, and then every time he said one sentence, Sharon would go on. I was like, motherfucker.
But going back to the film and this scene right here that you're seeing on screen when Sharon is confronting Derek, I really feel like this was one of the strongest acted scenes from Beyoncé in this film. There's probably from here it's all downhill for her acting wise, but the way she confronts Derek, she's screaming, she's yelling, it's very impassioned, and it's very believable as well. So I thought this was actually the best part for Beyoncé in the story. What did you think?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe she went through this before, and that's why she like embodied this part. Yeah, because she was really good. At this scene. And
I think also it might be Idris can elevate anybody he's across with. So that might also be another thing. But I'll just say right here that for her in this part, she should get more cred.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Because when you do think about it, it was her solo scenes that was kind of bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But moving forward in the film, uh, the detective is interviewing Lisa in the bed, and Lisa is like trying to convince the detective that, you know, she's not a stalker, because how can I be stalking him when he just sent me flowers, and, you know, there are flowers that have a handwritten note from Derek in them. And the detective is sort of like trying to figure out what's really happening in the story. So,
But once again, like, it was colorblind because, in a good way, I guess, in this case, because it felt like the detective wasn't really siding with Lisa completely. Like, she was very interrogative and kind of asking about her past and things like that.
yeah, I felt like the film missed an opportunity for the detective to find out more about Lisa's life. And here we could have got a reveal that, oh, this bitch has been chasing down people. Yeah, ex-boyfriend got stabbed in the eye. You know what I mean? Did 7 years in jail for cutting the dick off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been a more interesting story if they decided to, if the detective peeled back the layers on who this crazy girl was. You know what I'm saying? Her name's not even really Lisa. Her name is Allison Sheridan, and she ran away from a mental hospital. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, at this point in the film, his boss lets him go from his job, says you got to take a break, even though, you know, Derek is saying he was the one sexually assaulted. Any comments on this scene?
Yeah, he takes the case from him, which I think kind of supports, once again, your theory with Ben, because what he wanted to do, if he was the one who sent Lisa, is achieved. Like, he is taking off the case. And yeah, he's like, it's affecting his job as well, not only his marriage.
I would not be surprised if the film, you know, cut that part of the screenplay or the script, because films go through so many changes. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would not be surprised if they didn't want to make this a race film, so they cut out the parts of Ben being the one behind the scenes or working with Lisa. So, yeah, that's my theory, because it all lines up too perfectly to point back at Ben.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
It feels like there's maybe somewhere locked off in a Hollywood studio somewhere an extra 20 minutes of this film that really reveals the story.
Yeah.
But, you know, they didn't want to make this too controversial. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah. I can definitely see that.
But moving forward, the detective, you know, it shows a notebook, a crazy notebook that Lisa kept, where she wrote down all of her sexual encounters with Derek in full detail. And I was thinking at this scene, how did the bitch find the time for all of this?
I know. All the plotting and everything.
I know, right? It's way too detailed, man. But what did you think of this scene?
Yeah, I don't know. It still felt like the detective was not going to believe Derek. That's what I felt like. But I was kind of also hopeful, because she was actually taking the time to, like, talk to him and listen to him and listen to his side of the story. I really wanted him to read the paragraph that Lisa wrote, but he didn't. He just, like, said, this is not true.
This is not true. I do not eat booty, ma'am. Ma'am, sucking toes is not my forte.
Yeah, they kept it very vanilla on this part of it.
Ma'am, it's 8 inches and grippy. Not long, curved, and pointy.
Okay, wow. Too much.
I'm saying that's probably what's in the book. It was a long, detailed... Anyway, moving forward, you know, there's a kind of little montage. There's no American film where montages don't exist. We love montages. There's a montage of, you know, Derek raising his son Kyle in away from Sharon. Every day he comes and picks up Kyle from the house, and they go to the park, they get ice cream, and Sharon is like, you know, going to school online and, you know, taking care of business at the house by herself. And meanwhile, you know, Derek has to, like, sleep in cheap motels and, you know, just live divorced dad life, which is kind of sad, but it's a cute little montage. I think a Beyoncé song plays over it too.
No, not yet.
Not yet? Anyway, what did you think of the divorced dad Kanye humiliation ritual?
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling sad for Derek, because it felt like they didn't even have a conversation around it. He just got kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
I can see from Sharon's perspective that everything looks so shady. Like, I can see why, she was acting that way. On top of it, her sister got cheated on and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. And she also got like a babysitter at the same time because she was studying. So I was kind of like, okay, I felt like they were going to go back to each other at some point.
Yeah, I thought the film could have done a little commentary or, highlighted maybe, dads being absent in the black community, something like that. They could have done something right there. Maybe, Derek could have said to Sharon, like, I don't want to repeat, past mistakes. I want to break generational curses. I want to be in my son's life. You know what I mean? Something like that to highlight that maybe, both of them came from a broken home or one of them came from a broken home and they're trying to have, this perfect all-American family, in as black people in racist America. You get what I'm saying? I thought that would have been an interesting touch. Once again, if I were to remake this film or add stuff to the script, I wouldn't make it overbearing. I would just add one line here, one line there to add more depth to the story. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that would have been interesting. But moving forward, eventually Derek is able to, break down the walls, and he convinces Lisa to go out. Sharon to go out on a date. Sharon agrees, and she ends up serving body yada yada. This is the baddest that Beyonce looks in the film. This reminds you why, she's one of them. You know what I'm saying? And, he puts the knack on her. He's like, Sharon, baby, I just want to come home. I just want to come home. And we know Sharon was dripping under the seat. She missed that grippy thing. So, yeah, she says, okay, you going to come home. What did you think of this scene?
Yeah, I really liked it because, like, Beyonce had this little gift, right? And she was like, we'll see how this evening goes if you get this gift. And then once she gave it to him, it had the key to the house.
Yeah.
So that was, like, very cute. And it was kind of showing me, like, as women, especially as married women, we just, like, I know that Derek didn't actually cheat on her, but that's what it looks from her side, and that we actually forgive a lot of things to keep our families together. And, yeah, I was also kind of thinking about that. And obviously, like, she loved Derek, really, and that's why one of the reasons why she forgave him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important, all that, but which one do you prefer, Beyonce with the curly hair or straight hair? I can't choose, right?
I like the curly hair. Because I'm a curly-haired girl, so curly hair team is going to win for me. Okay,
all right. But moving forward in the story, while they were out on the date, the babysitter is there, and this stupid little girl opens the door, and guess who's there? It's Lisa, but Lisa actually has a different name now. It's Kate. She's calling herself Kate. And she said, oh, yeah, I'm a friend of Sharon. I just came over to bring a gift to baby Kyle at 11 p.m. at night. And, she does this whole thing where she gets on the phone and talks to herself, which is crazy. And, she tries to even pass the phone to the little babysitter girl. And she's like, oh, no, okay, it's fine. And so, yeah, she ends up going up there with Kyle and, like, basically kidnapping the baby.
Yeah, she's, like, sitting with him. And once again, Kyle, cry.
Yeah,
please. You don't know this woman. She's a stranger.
Kyle does not cry, like, Kyle could have saved everybody a bunch of time by just crying one time.
Look at Kyle. Look at how comfortable she is.
Just very comfortable with his big ass head. Anyway, she ends up, like, kidnapping the baby. And, Sharon and Derek are, like, very confused and scared. They're looking all over the house. And they find Kyle in the back seat of Derek's car with a kiss on his forehead, which is just creepy.
Yeah, very creepy.
Very creepy.
Like, did you molest this kid?
Yeah, and at that point, I would have found Lisa and choked the shit out of her, bro. Like, what is she doing?
Take pictures, go to the police.
No. We're kicking in Lisa's teeth, man, for real. What is this? What was that? That was just wild.
Yeah, and also, like, how did she get into Derek's car, too?
Man, she's got everything, man. She's got everything. She probably got fingerprints of him on file. You know what I mean? It's one of them. That was one of those fancy Beamers where you get in by having the right fingerprint. You know what I mean? So
did they exist back then?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think they were out there. Anyway, so what happens here?
Yeah, they basically go to the detective lady, and like Sharon is pissed. She's like, some of you do something or I'm going to do it. And you don't want that to happen because I will also get dirty.
Yeah.
And and I think at this point maybe also the detective is kind of believing in them.
No, definitely now. But the biggest plot hole in this film is that there's no arrest warrant put out for Lisa.
Yeah, I think because I don't know if it was here, but they basically say that Lisa went away. And she's put on a mental health facility.
Yeah. She went to a crazy house.
yeah. So they're like, oh, okay, then I guess she won't come.
Okay.
Back.
There's always this thing in the film where it's like, oh, Lisa went away, so we don't have to worry anymore. But that bitch is there.
Like that bitch has like fairy godparents.
Yeah, she's like snaps, disappears, and then comes back at the worst time possible and does havoc in your life.
Yeah.
So
they come back and the room is all trashed and like, the pictures of Sharon are cut out.
Disgusting. She cut out Beyonce's face.
She gets really mad and she sends a voicemail to Lisa threatening her, saying like, stay away from my baby, stay away from my family, just try me, bitch.
Okay.
And she's on, another level now.
Yes.
She's not having it.
Yes, she is. And it's leading up to probably the climax of the film. Lisa calls the gay guy at the office and is like, long time no see, bitch. And he's like, where you been, ho? And they're doing a kiki on the phone and stuff like that. And they want to meet up. But Lisa starts spilling some fake tea that she heard that Derek and Sharon are getting a divorce. And the gay guy's like, nah, they're not getting a divorce. Derek is on his way to go pick up Sharon right now. They're going to Hawaii or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
They're going on a holiday.
And then he's like, oh shit, I just gave this bitch the drop. I just let her know where they are. And so now he's like, ooh, I shouldn't have did that. Anyway, so they have a home security system now to protect them from the evil white she-devil. But, but Sharon ends up coming back to the house because she forgot something, I think like a baby bottle or something like that. And when she walks into the house, she finds Lisa all up in the bed wearing Derek's clothes and laying rose petals down and stuff like that. Just wild stuff.
Insane.
And so Sharon comes back and she tries to like call the police, but Lisa stops her and then they begin fighting, like really going at it. And Beyonce says, I'm going to wipe the floor with your little skinny ass. So what did you think of, those scenes?
I like the fact that there was the big fight in this movie was a woman's fight because you usually see men have the big fight. And I like this about this movie. And they're fighting like really good, I think, until they go to the rooftop.
Okay.
Or the attic or whatever.
Now I have to tell you this. They won an MTV film award for this fight. Beyonce won an award for this fight scene.
Yeah, I can see that. Because it's like a lot of back and forth at this point. At one point, like, Sharon is about to fall off from the second floor. It's like at one point, I think Lisa kicks Beyonce's face with her feet and all that. So it's a lot of back and forth. I really like the fight, like the physicality of the fight scene. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, the fight scene I feel like was really good up until, like you said, the time when they were up in the attic. In this part here, I think people might just find this exactly silly because Beyonce is walking backwards in 4-inch heels like Tina Turner, saying, come on, bitch, try and get me, bitch. Come closer. You almost got me now. And Lisa is like swinging wildly while Beyonce is doing like the,
tap dance.
Yeah, she's like tap dancing. She said, and so Lisa ends up falling through this little hole in the roof, you know what I mean? And asbestos just flying everywhere. And Beyonce, being the good Christian girl, tries to save her. She even puts out her hand and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Lisa grabs on to the hand and tries to pull her down too, thinking if I can't have him, nobody can. You know what I mean?
Beyonce's like, you crazy bitch, let me go.
Yeah. And so Lisa ends up falling into the table, and we assume she's dead, and then the chandelier falls on top of her. I think it's possible, that she didn't die because we don't see like a whole lot of blood and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny how like she fell for the first time, and then they did a close up to her face, and she was like, and then like the chandelier falls in.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like if she's dead, but that's just funny, like how they did it like that.
Yeah, I think the fight scene was cool. This part was the cheesy part, but other than that, it was very intense. Really cool to see Beyonce be fighting like that. You know what I mean? You think Beyonce got hands for real?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Anyway. Derek is like on his way to the house, but by the time he gets there, like Lisa is dead, and also the detective shows up too, and they say it's over, it's finally over, and
I wanna run, smash into you.
Okay, there's a Beyonce song that plays at the end, which is very like ironic because it's called Smash or something.
Smash into you.
Smash into you, and at the end, like. A chandelier smashes into, Ali Larter. So, yeah. What did you think of the film? What did you think? Final review, final scores, final thoughts.
I think this movie did not deserve a 1 hour, 20-minute review from us.
No, it's actually shorter than that. I think it did though. I think we did a good job. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, we did a good job. But I felt like we just like really digged into this movie. Yeah. Like, there isn't really that much.
Yeah.
You can make up the themes and talk about them, like black men in corporate world, the dynamic between like white women and black men and stuff like that. But overall, like I said, it's a high budget celebrity Tubi movie.
Yeah.
And you watch it for Idris and Beyonce.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of a cliche, like regular good old obsessive girl plot. I think my score would be like 5.5.
5.5? I give this it was entertaining while we watched it. So like while we were watching it, we were like, oh, this is stupid and silly, but we were having a good time with it, and I enjoyed watching it again, especially like as an older man now with more experience than just a teenager watching this film. So I give it like an enjoyable 6.5. You know what I mean? It is kind of silly. There are missed opportunities. There are some major plot holes, like Lisa's whole existence. But other than that, it's kind of fun, and it's the Beyonce parts are not so overwhelming that it stops the film from being enjoyable. This is an Idris Elba piece that you can enjoy because he does his fucking thing. It's like Denzel. Even when Denzel's doing a crappy movie, he's still gonna Denzel it. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those joints. So that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing I gotta say, there were like Jonathan Majors has like fallen off since the white woman chase since he went through his own sort of obsessed, right? And I think for Jonathan Majors' career, it would be interesting if he started doing like some high budget Tubi movies like this. I feel like Magazine Dreams, we reviewed it. It was just okay.
Is he gonna do the Obsessed sequel?
Something like that. You know what I mean? It would be cool to see Jonathan Majors try to get back into things by like going back underground and doing films like this. And films like this is sort of like what made Idris Elba, who he is. Because similar to like Denzel did a lot of shitty movies and some classics. You know what I mean? And Idris Elba is the same. He hasn't been too picky. He's done great films, and then he also did a film where he punched a lion. You know what I'm saying? He's done Obsessed, and he's done, masterpieces. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I just want to throw that out there as we're talking about, just black actors.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him like in a rom-com or whatever, or like something like this.
No.
I wouldn't necessarily say like he should do Tubi movies because I don't know. I feel like that's it just in terms of like the acting skills, that's a bit too low for him. And I love Tubi movies. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they're like really good cultural pieces. But yeah. I wouldn't want to see him in Tubi, but I would definitely want to see him in maybe something like this.
Yeah. And as far as Beyonce and her acting goes, so Obsessed was such like a massive flop for her that she never did like really acting again. She's done voice acting, like The Lion King, and also she's done her own, films like, such as Lemonade and Renaissance, Homecoming, etc. Right? But before this, she had done Austin Powers. She had done Dreamgirls. Cadillac Records. She played Etta James. You get what I'm saying? So she was on a roll, but Obsessed really stopped her. Do you think she should return to acting?
I don't think it's necessary at this point. She has a whole music kingdom, and I do think like her films about her albums and about her life, those visual albums that she makes, I really, really love them. I think they're great, and I feel like maybe she should stick to that.
Yeah. I think maybe, if anything, what has been a success for her are the musical films, Dreamgirls, Cadillac Records. So maybe just do something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Musical or something.
Yeah, do another, play, Diana Ross or something like that. The Tina Turner story. Like, we can make another Tina Turner movie, and she could do that. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I don't think Beyonce's acting is so bad that she should not be in film. I think it could have been a totally different world we're living in culture had Beyonce had success with this film critically. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We might not have gotten the great albums that came out after 2009 because maybe she would have said, oh, I'm actually doing really well in movies and I don't have to sing and dance and jump on stage all the time. It could have been a different world. I
also think there's the belief that because she's such a great performer in music, maybe people expected her to be really, really good at acting. And I don't know, because she's Beyonce, you're kind of unable to see her as anybody else. Yeah. When we were doing this movie, I didn't want to call her Sharon. I wanted to call her Beyonce.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of hard to be, taken out of that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she has enough experience in order to conduct that type of effect.
But this is the thing. Nobody said she was a bad actor in Dreamgirls. Nobody said that in Cadillac Records. It's when this came out and she wasn't singing and dancing, then people just said, oh, she's trash. You know what I mean? They didn't give her a chance.
That's the thing, because those movies are with music and connected to musicians. So it's easier probably for her to relate to those than to this.
Yeah. I think also maybe she's just a person that more enjoys the music industry than actually the film industry. Yeah. So maybe, because memorizing lines is hard, waking up early on set is hard, you know what I mean? Maybe she just really loves hitting the studio and hitting the stage and doing the photo shoots. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not her. I would just feel she shouldn't have let the haters bring her down, or her team shouldn't have let the haters bring her down. Because Dreamgirls is great, Cadillac Records is great. You know what I'm saying? She's not as bad an actress as, you imagine.
Yeah. And, because she did so many music movies, I feel like maybe the only reason she accepted this role was because of Idris, too. We're going to be the power black couple in this movie.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of how I feel maybe her team made that decision, not for the plot, but for Idris. Basically.
I got you. Well, that was our discussion of Obsessed. This is episode 132 of Simon and Acting Movie Reviews. We have some film requests on the way that we're going to tackle possibly this week. So if you have any other films that you think we should do, put them in the chat. We'll try to get to them as soon as possible. Stay blessed, don't be obsessed, and peace.